Hello, and welcome. This is Tailored Love. Every Tuesday at the 4, 3, 2, I don't know, whatever hour, we come at you live here on Facebook. Rob Morales, RCO Network, here with my lovely, esteemed co-host for today's show. Please welcome Taylor Wood from shopthinkpretty.com. There she is. There.
Hi.
That's right.
Hello. Back at it.
Oh, Jesus. we had some, cut off. There we go.
Oh.
Yeah. Our theme song cut off.
That's our theme song.
So, last couple of weeks we've been on hiatus.
Mm-hmm.
I think Miss Taylor has been doing some probably good and probably some bad things, but
Definitely more bad than good. That's for sure.
God only knows. So, to tell everybody again, you are the CEO and owner of shopthinkpretty.com.
Yes, I sure am.
Or just simply Think Pretty.
It's just Think Pretty Boutique, but my website is shopthinkpretty.com.
So we're going to head over to the website right now. So if you want to hold on to your seats right there, shopthinkpretty.com. Oh, there goes that. I think I like her. So we're going to get back to that in a second, miss. So every week we come at you here live talking to entrepreneurs about their love life, relationships, and the things that we kind of do between each other. Good and bad.
Good and bad. Mostly bad.
If you knew Taylor offline, you would definitely say mostly bad. So this show is designed to talk about relationships and things we get into. And today's topic is a little bit different.
Yep.
Yep. It's makeup or breakup. So trying to determine, those people that we should stay with versus the people we should not stay with, so we're going to be doing that. But first, if you want to go ahead and comment or add questions to whatever it is we're talking about, go ahead and put those in the comment section below. If you love what you're seeing here on Facebook, Twitch, or whatever platform you're seeing us on, give us a little love because we love the loves.
Give us a little heart. Drop some
right.
comments down below.
And if you're on YouTube, hit that like button and subscribe and catch us every week. So we're back here. You do have a piece. So part of you coming on the show is to demo these wonderful pieces that you do sell on your website. Mm-hmm. So you do have something fabulous today. So let's go ahead. Let's do a demo before we start.
Demo. So this is called the Never Gets Old Denim Jacket. Currently, I have the black one listed on my website, and I just brought on some new colors. One new color actually.
Are we showing? I mean.
Oh yeah. I was just adjusting.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Get with
Forgive
the
me. I'm just the critic.
So this is the jacket.
So this is what you wear in 105-degree weather.
Yes, correct. But it's really cute to go off the shoulders with. You know, you can spice it up different ways, and it's perfect for every season. Maybe not Arizona summers, but here I am wearing it still. But
wearing it proud.
Wearing it proud.
So if you head over to the website, again, shopthinkpretty.com, if you go to the tops section, you can find a lot of pictures of Taylor here. But if you go specifically to tops. You'll see exactly what we're talking about. It's going to be in this top left corner, and today only 15. Oh, it's sold out.
Yes, so I'm relaunching them. I just got a new order in, so I'm just waiting. I'm just kind of creating some hype around it, and then I'm going to launch it. This new color, and then the old ones too. Yeah,
the blue lace up was the last time we were here.
Yes, yeah.
Which we do miss this week. So hopefully you can bring that back.
Yes.
Our audience.
I do love that one. Audience wants it.
Yeah, look at that.
Thank you.
They're calling back. Anyway, cut it out.
Cut it out.
Okay. So anyway, we're back here. Like I said, we're talking about relationships and the things that we get involved with. And today's topic, again, is the makeup or breakup. Mm-hmm. There are situations, I think, when we're in relationships for people that we may want to stay with and consider, and then there's the people that we should probably part ways with just because they're not healthy for us.
Right. And then when do you decide?
Do you have any stories or situations from past relationships where you're like, I'll tell you one of mine in a second, but I don't know if you want to go first.
Yeah, I mean, my past relationships. Well, actually, all of them. I've said it in a past episode before. I have been cheated on in every relationship, but yet I still am the one who wants to stay in the relationship. So I always try and make up, no matter what happens, in a relationship, I'm always the one who's trying to make it work still. My last relationship, he did cheat on me, and I was still trying to make it work with him after he told me straight to my face, I don't want to be with you anymore. And I was like, well, why? Why not? And I'm still trying to I break up is the last thing that I ever want to do. I like to make up way rather than break up.
Well, wasn't there a lot of red flags? I mean,
Oh, yeah.
When did you find out that he was cheating on you?
I found out.
I guess the last one, maybe.
I actually found out after a relationship. So my last relationship, I found out after we had already broken up. I ran into his ex-girlfriend at the bars, actually. And she approached me and like told me everything basically. And she's like, yeah, we've actually been hooking up since December or something. And I was like, oh, interesting, because we've been together for almost 2 years. So that's awesome.
Oh, you told her that straight out?
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't like let her go on and be like, oh yeah, we met last weekend. It was such a great, we went to Vegas, and you're like, he told me he went to go see his parents that week.
No,
or
because
whatever. It wasn't something like that.
No, she didn't even know that he had a girlfriend, so she claims. I kind of don't believe that, honestly. But so yeah, I just let her tell me, and then I was like, okay.
What do you think of that? Do you think that's more of this passive kind of culture, like the clickbait culture, where you're just like, okay, I'm done with you. I'm going to go to the next one, and I can hide things a little bit better or whatever,
Yeah, definitely. I think so. I mean, I would go through his phone all the time, like when he would be asleep, because I had my face in his phone.
Yeah.
I knew his password and everything. So I always like snoop on his phone when we go to bed, and then he like roll over. And I'm like, oh shit! And I have to like throw the phone across the room. But he always deleted everything because I never found anything on his phone. I'm like, oh, he's such a loyal boyfriend. Turns out he wasn't.
So sign number one, when you feel compelled to want to go through somebody's phone, then that probably means you don't trust them. And then you should be reflecting back on why.
Yeah.
Because I did have that once too. I had a girl I was dating just after my divorce, my first serious relationship. And I basically just handed her phone. Here you go.
Yeah.
There's a lot on there from the past before you met that you're probably not going to like.
Yeah.
And you're going to get one chance at looking at everything. But I will tell you, you're not going to like what you see. Guys are horrible.
Yeah.
I am no exception. I will send things and do things. Sometimes I question myself. I'm like, should I send that? I'm like, oh, whatever. And it's just to guys, you don't really, I think with men, because they're so competitive, they like to show off. Mm-hmm. They like to show, and part of the mindset of this, the subconscious part of us, is like we have to demonstrate our acquisitions.
Right.
And that could be like money, that could, definitely cars, that could be, women too. Women are objectified and for men. And it's
totally.
Just the way it's kind of structured, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
And so we do that objectification to demonstrate how proud we are, how strong we are, and that's just the ego feeding on it. And so we'll send like text messages of like, hey, look at the girl I'm with.
Yeah.
Look at the girl I'm with. And, hey, check out this one. It's just kind of built in that infrastructure, but it really doesn't have any meaning other than kind of like that competition between another guy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, exactly.
And I think it's sometimes shocking for women because women want to like have that sincere, like, oh my God, he really meant what he said. Mm-hmm. I'm the only one.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, like that thing in their guy's head never turns off.
Yeah, I don't think it does. I mean, coming from a guy right now telling me that to my face, I'm still like, are you sure though? Are you sure he doesn't?
So ask Brad Pitt. He's with the hottest woman possible, Angelina Jolie.
Yes.
And yet still.
Exactly.
Yeah. It doesn't
what do you
turn
got to do? What do you got to do to
how much higher can you get?
Exactly. Oh my gosh, it's ridiculous.
So I think it's easy for me to say, hey, for a woman to get over that part of it, but it should be, it shouldn't be something that is like used in the relationship or against the guy.
Yeah.
Especially if the guy's being somewhat honest about it.
Yeah.
And saying, hey, this is, I'm with guys and we send pictures. And we talk a lot of game, but in the reality is we don't have no game.
Right. I mean, as long as you're not doing anything like, where you're actually cheating on somebody. If it's just like, sending pictures back and forth with your buddies and then you tell your friend like, or not your friend, your girlfriend, like, by the way, you're probably going to find something on my phone. But yeah, if you're honest, and that's different. But obviously if you're like sexting with another girl or like, doing stuff you're not supposed to be doing on your phone and then you come clean about it, you're like, just so you know, I was cheating on you last night, but I'm telling you. So does that make it better? No.
Well, the honesty is nice.
Yeah, the honesty is nice. It's appreciated, but
it's not very welcome.
No. But yeah, I mean, I think deciding whether to make up or break up is super tough decision because it's like you want to obviously make up, but how do you decide?
Well, I think for women it's a little bit different in the fact that it takes a lot for a woman to be vulnerable with a guy. And biologically for a reason, right? I mean, they have to preserve, that sense of like children, basically, and so I think it's built in the infrastructure. Like, hey, I can't just go have sex with everybody. necessarily. Some people it doesn't apply. Don't know what I'm talking about. But but I mean, it's not so easy for a woman to do that unless they see like that sense of security there,
Right.
or some sort of benefit. I mean, at the end of it, we're all just creatures. We're all just animals, and we're all functioning on this biological like level, this basic biological level, and that's like eat, sex, food, sleep, sex, food, eat, sex, food.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just the core function of us. We're here to continue our species.
Right.
You
And
know?
I think guys forget that. I think guys forget that girls are literally the prize. Like women are the prize. Yeah. Like you guys are trying to get with us, you know, like you have to have us around for babies to exactly what you were saying, you know, like reciprocate. What's the word?
I don't know what you're trying to say.
Reincarnate? What's when you make babies?
Oh my God, I'm having a blank.
This is so embarrassing. Anyways, you know what I'm saying.
Continue the species, whatever that is.
Yeah, continue the species, whatever. No, I think guys like literally forget that girls are the prize. You guys are trying to get with us, so why are you being such like...
But again, think of it on a basic, like fundamental level. Guys can't really have emotions if they're going, like, okay, so go back to like Neanderthal man, Neanderthal woman.
Yeah.
If I have emotions about like the thing I'm killing, I can't kill it,
right.
which also means I can't bring food home. You know, and so I can't really share emotions. I can share camaraderie with my fellow men to a common goal, which is bring food, acquisition, bring stuff home so that we can develop the home.
Right. You're using a lot of big words right now that I don't understand, just so you know. But I'm going with it. It's called
English. But what I mean is, like, you go out and you hunt and you bring back. That's the basic function of a Neanderthal man. And for a woman, again, I can only articulate what's in books and from what you tell me. For a woman, they're there to connect and to build a community. You have other women in a communal segment of home. You know, at the ranch or what, at the campsite, whatever Neanderthal thing there is. So you have all these communal women, and their survival is based on their connection with other women.
Right.
You know, and so those are the feelings, those are the emotions, and then, you know, getting on their guys to like go hunt more or, you know, drive them crazy to acquire more. Because I will tell you, Violet gets on my case about not making money sometimes. So.
Yeah.
I can't be around sitting at home.
None of that. It doesn't sound like you ever are.
No.
So you're a busy man.
Well, she gets mad I don't come home either.
Oh, well.
I get it either way, so it doesn't matter.
You can't win.
No. But that's what I'm getting at. It's just like, it's just built in that infrastructure for a guy.
Yeah.
That they're always going to hunt and they're always going to share and show off. And I think it's a failure to women to recognize that part of it and not to use it as fuel or blame. But at the same time, it's like, it's a recognition of like, hey, are you still with me?
Right.
Like, are you still like here? I know you're looking at these other women, but
are you mentally still here, like with me? Yeah.
Which is what I think sometimes you come across that. You like these guys that kind of push you off because you get, I'm anticipating, or at least I suspect that you get like multiple guys always wanting to text you or get with you or to see you at some point. And so when somebody actually ignores you, it's like, hey, we've talked about this before.
Yes, exactly. It's the chase.
So think of that guy that's cheating on you. They're not emotionally present.
Right.
They're avoiding you in a way. They're also not talking to you. So it's like, hey.
It's like, what are you doing?
Trying to prove and trying to bring them back.
Yeah. No, that's definitely it. Like the chase is, it's crazy. I don't understand why any of it works, but it does. It's like, why is the one ignoring me the one that I want the most?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I forgot what I was going to say.
Oh,
I lost my train of thought.
But,
I'm a wreck today. I obviously can't speak English.
So really the idea of today's show is to identify, like, is the person you're with the right person? You know, and I think at the end of the day, yes and no. Yes, in the fact that, you know, there is an emotional tie there. There is a reason why you guys are together. But the failure, I think, between any relationship is the recognition of each other's faults, each other's challenges, and their strengths too, and using both. I mean, if you bring two people together, you have an extra set of hands, two minds, two visions, two perspectives. There's a lot that can come out of that relationship, even though you're not on the same page necessarily.
Right. No, that's exactly it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, because in one relationship that I had, I mean, I had basically everything you could want, for a guy, just you want to do it and you want to eat and keep going. But sometimes that's not enough too. I need a challenge on my side of things.
Yeah.
And I've broken up with somebody who I was emotionally connected with, but I also felt that they weren't really going to get me to the place I needed to go.
Right.
We were talking about this before the show. If somebody's going to be hot all the time, the bartender.
Right.
If you're going to date the bartender, he's super hot, he's super into himself, and he's all cut, and you're like, oh, yeah. But he doesn't know his finances.
Yeah.
Then it's probably not the right person to be with. If he continually has evictions and continually has money problems, can't afford food basically, and you're paying for his stuff, that's probably not the right person to be with.
Definitely not. So for guys, is it kind of the same? Do you like the chase as well?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, that again, it's built in the guy infrastructure is to always chase, And when you obtained your kill, necessarily, you still have it in you to want to chase.
Yeah.
And the conscious me, the conscious person that realizes that, knows that. And that's where the culture comes in and says you can only be with one person. You should love and respect the person you're with. You shouldn't look at anybody else. You should be attentive to their needs and understand them completely. So that's the conscious, logical side of me. But the Neanderthal part is oh my God, she's hot. Oh, she's hot.
Yeah.
She's hot. I don't know who to look at. Yeah. And then sometimes I find myself scrolling on pictures longer than 18. I'm like, okay, I got to get back to work. There's a biological function that's just hardwired in there that I just can't seem to overcome, and I think it's, a misunderstanding that women don't know that, or at least explore that, or at least accept a guy for that.
That's true. I mean, I've definitely given a lot of excuses in the past for guys who, they get away with little stuff. They can check out a girl for walking next to each other, and I'll just be like, rude. But I'll get over it. I'm not going to break up with you over it. But I mean, I just lost my train of thought.
I don't know.
What is going on?
But who knows?
Who knows? It's a new beer today. Okay, it's a new beer today. That's what it is. It's throwing me off.
So,
continue.
but in reflection of that too, Viola was there actually last night, and I forgot what the context of the conversation was, but she was looking at some guy, and she's like, "Oh my God, he's hot." I'm like, and I look at him like, he kind of is. I'm secure in myself to know that, and I know she's not going to veer off, and I'm very forgiving that she can look at another person, another human being, and have that sense of wantedness, that sexuality, because that's just how we're built. We're built to have sex. That's just bottom line. We just do it in different ways.
Right.
Like women, I think they have to feel emotionally secure in order to have sex, where men just can go have it.
Right.
And they're not necessarily selective. They're not discriminate unless they're a complete 1 or 2, and they're not a 10. No, even 10s are intimidating too. So, but I mean, men tend to be a little bit less discriminate, and women tend to be more selective. That's just the nature of who we are.
Right.
And women tend to be more selective because they're going to be carrying something for 9 months.
That's very true.
And then if the guy splits after the baby's born, they're going to have to be watching over it. I mean, that's cultural. And, and even in our court systems, everything else is built that way, that women get custody of children.
Yeah.
So picking the right person. She's just total lost today.
I am. I'm in La La Land over here.
So is there certain things that you look out for
in a guy?
Or that give you a red flag, or because we talked about red flags before too. Selecting the right person, has that really, because you're not with anybody right now.
No.
So Taylor is not with anybody right now. So if you want to date Taylor,
hello,
please drop a line here on Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, whatever you need to. I will message her. I'll message her the deets.
Perfect. Yes.
I'm her go-between. So
yes.
If you get past me, you can get to her as Taylor.
My Instagram is Taylor with 2 O's, Wood with 3 O's.
Oh boy, she's got a lot of wood. More than you know.
More than you know.
Anyway, is there certain things that I can give you my core ones, and I'm not dating. I'm with somebody right now, but I'm not out there dating. But is there certain things that that you kind of leverage off of? Or is there something that kind of hits you as far as this is seemingly the right person I'm with?
Yeah, when they have a stable job, they can hold a conversation. it's a big turn on when a guy like is successful, in my opinion, like not in a gold digger sense at all, just in genuine, like he wants success for his life and he knows what he's doing and he works for it. That's like a definite green flag.
Well, and then how do you determine success too? Because like when I was 20 or 21, because Taylor's 21. No, but when I was 21, I really didn't have a lot of, stuff together at that point. I had a job, and I think I was renting an apartment at that point, and so I was kind of getting my stuff together. Is there flexibility in kind of that realm?
Yeah, especially if somebody is my age, because I don't really like guys like exactly my age, like 21. Like I like them to be a few years older than me.
What's too old?
What's too old?
Yeah. More than 10 years?
Yeah, I'd say probably more than 10 years. 10 would probably be like my maximum, I would say.
Is that because it's weird, or because, like, if you have a really strong connection with somebody and let's say they're 35?
I mean, if I have a strong connection, then age doesn't mean anything. Like, like if I meet somebody online, like my dating profiles, my age limit is set to, I think, like 27 or something like that. Yeah. But like, if I meet somebody online and they're like over 10 years older than me, then it's weird. But then if I meet them in person, like last night, actually, I met a man and he was older than me.
She met a man and she was older.
And
I heard this story.
He did. He is older than me, and we did actually have a good connection. Like, he's successful. He was talking to me about, what he does for work, and then I was telling him what I do for work, and we were just talking about like success and like our futures, not like futures together, but like, just our futures in general, and how we both kind of are on the same page about life and what you want for yourselves. So that's a big turn on to me.
Well, that's a little hard, to kind of really break that down. Because I could tell you I make $1 million a year or whatever, or $1 million a month, and you really can't verify that. And you're like,
that's true.
Oh, really? Let me see your bank account.
He did show me his website, and his face was all over it.
You have a website.
That's you.
But you have a website.
That's true. I'm not a millionaire. Well, he never specified how much money he makes, which is another good turn on. Like, you can be or show yourself as a successful person without like flexing all your money and like, oh yeah, like just throwing your money around like this. Like, this is my car that I have. This is my verified this that I have. Like, there's other ways to show you're successful without like just rubbing it in someone's face.
Yeah, I think that's another telltale sign that somebody's probably not the right person, or at least they're not in the right mind frame.
Yeah.
Because if they're like basically showing you all their cards all at once.
Yes.
Like, oh my God, I make $1 million a month. I have a Rolex. You can't verify if that's real or not.
Yeah.
And they could be out in their one suit that they have in their closet.
Yeah. See, that's just unattractive to me. Like, when guys just like, not if you wear that kind of stuff, like that's fine if you want to wear it or like flaunt your stuff, but like not in an obnoxious way. Like, don't be like, yeah, I can come pick you up in my Lambo while I have my Rolex on with my blah, 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 doing that kind of stuff. Like, if you're like, yeah, I'll pick you up at this time, and then you just show up in a Lambo, I'm going to be like, okay.
Do you want to go with my Lambo?
Yeah. Please.
I don't have a Lambo, but.
I knew it.
How do you know I don't? I don't. But. So, I think that's a real telltale sign is when you, in the first 5 minutes you meet somebody, they're kind of throwing out all their cards.
Right.
I think that's probably a red flag you should probably pay attention to, that this person is probably not in the mindset that I tend to look for humility. For men, it's a little bit different because I got to get past the first part of like meeting somebody, which is I want to have sex with them. That's usually the first. Guys usually talking to you because they want to have sex with you.
Yeah.
And that's usually the first thing, like, I think for most guys.
Yeah.
And so once you get past that part, for me, it's like, okay, so what value does this person have? And for guys, it's very fickle. It's like, okay, so they're attractive, hot, they're okay. Attractive, hot, they're 7, 8, 9. Okay, I can't. 9's too much for me. I'm gonna go about 7. And so it's so weird and different for a guy, I think, for the most part, than it is for women. But once you get past that, the things I over time, and this is experience, not necessarily like when I was 21. When I was 21, I just want to sleep with everybody. Now it's more of like, okay, can this person not going to take my money? Is this person going to give me inspiration? Is this person going to be supportive? You know, is this person gonna like, take care of me? You know, as things get older, I think that's probably the more prevalent idea.
Right.
Is like, are they gonna take care of me when I'm old and fucked up?
Right.
You know, if I lose a leg in a car accident, are they still gonna be around, kind of thing? Do they still honor and respect me? You know, and you come across a lot of these people that are really topical, really fickle. They don't really, as soon as something happens and you lose your attractiveness for a guy, they're off to the next one.
Yeah.
And that's hardwired. So yes, you can't blame somebody for doing that, but you can blame them for I think telling you one thing and going against that.
Right.
Think, hey, I'm going to marry you. I'm committed to you. I'm you and you alone. I'm committed to you, and then going out and cheating. I mean, so end this thing this commitment, this agreement you made, whether it's a marriage or a relationship, end it first, and then go to the next one. That's respect, and I think that's honesty.
Yeah.
But for most people, it's like, okay, I want to have my cake and eat it too.
Right. That's exactly it.
And I want to have the picturesque, the beauty queen, but then I also want to be able to kind of sneak away and do what I want to. You know, because I think there's really two sides to people.
Yeah, I agree. Do you think so? When you're meeting somebody, or before when you were dating around, like, is it unattractive to you or a turnoff to guys, do you think, when a woman has success for herself?
That's a hard question. So no, not for me personally, but I do sometimes believe when a man and a woman are both successful, that when you have two bulls in a ring, I mean, there's only really one outcome. One's going to win. And if you have somebody that's really determined, it doesn't matter which gender it is. If you have somebody that's really determined, one's going to concede a lot.
Right.
You know, and before I had this kind of epiphany, this thought process, you know, I always wanted to be the dominant one. I always wanted to be the one saying what needed to happen. And in my previous marriage, I was always the one kind of like the pussy, actually. I was the one because my ex made, $200,000 a year. I'm like, I can't compete with that. I'm making 50 at working for the state,
Yeah.
I'm doing state civil work, And so I always conceded, but then after that, I always wanted to be in charge, and what was your question specifically?
Is it unattractive when girls have success for themselves?
No, it's very attractive. The hard part for guys is that they feel like they have to compete with another guy and compete for her attention, and if she's like in charge and she's the bull and she's the one kind of dictating things, she's very attractive on that pedestal. But then there's that guy part of you that wants to kind of pull her down, like, hey, I'm the one in charge. I want to be on that pedestal. That's the ego in a guy.
Yeah,
to do that.
And it's always the guys who are like lower than you on the scale. Like I've noticed when I go out, I'll be having great conversation. Like this guy already has my attention. We have each other's attention. We're talking, having good conversation, and then the question comes up. So what do you do? And then I say like, oh, I work a job and I own my own business, and then I do this podcast once a week too. And like they're like, oh, nice. Like they'll ask a few questions about like all of it, but then the conversation just kind of like dies out. I feel it. And I'm like, why? What do you do? And they're like, oh, like, I don't know, something.
Well, it goes back to that passion thing. If they don't have something in their life that's going on, what do they have to talk about?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if it's like they get intimidated or something by it, but it's so interesting because I've noticed like other entrepreneurs and other people who are successful, like those are the ones that want to conversate. They're like, oh, okay, you started your business. Like, tell me more about that. I want to know everything, So,
and then genuinely they're very helpful. Like, oh my God, you have a website? Have you had these problems before? Like, hey, I'm having this problem.
Yeah, because you guys can relate.
Yeah, and their passion is their work or whatever they're doing. And if you connect with, I think, that turmoil, that stress, those challenges, then that's where the conversation is. When you have like some connection in the conversation. Right,
and that's why when I'm looking for somebody, like that's what I look for, like is the success, because we can relate and we can talk about things together.
Because at the end of the day, like the hotness wears away. Like the hot six pack just kind of goes by the time you're like 50, 60, turn into dad bod. And then the hotness goes away once you have kids. And I mean, there's some people that pull themselves out of that and they're like all hard bodies at 50.
Yeah.
But for the most part, for the majority of people out there, that's not the reality. Then you lose that kind of that thing, and then whatever's left is the conversation.
Right, exactly.
And when somebody makes their conversation another person, then it kind of like loses out. And I think that's what happened in that relationship I was telling you about. I got to have it very enjoyably all the time. It was nice. It was very nice, but then that was really it.
That was it. Like there was nothing else to it.
And I needed challenge. I needed something to go hunt, essentially. I needed somebody to kind of be evasive so I can chase after.
Yeah.
And that's what keeps a guy kind of involved. You know, that person that I think again, going back to your question about successful women, that gives the guy a chase. But he does want to eat. He does want to consume. He does want to capture that at some point.
Right. I do think that I am kind of like that lady that you were talking about earlier before we were
just give it up all the time. And
yeah. Like there's no chase. That's how I am with my relationships. And I do feel like that's why like I get cheated on so much is because like once I'm in a relationship, like it is all about them in the relationship. Like you want this? Okay, I'll give it to you. Like you want me to serve you something on a silver platter? Okay, I'll do it. Like I am a very big people pleaser. So I don't know. There's never like a chase. Like once you get me, like you get me, like that's it.
But I think there's a balance to that too. You know, Violet tends to be very, she takes care of me. You know, the fact that she makes sure, like, it's kind of funny in the morning. She's like, here's your water, here's your coffee. You know, making sure she has everything. But then 5 seconds later, she's back off to doing her work.
Yeah.
You know, she's like, hey, I have my things to do. And I'm like, okay, thank you. This is really nice. I have my things to do. And I do my stuff too. I'll take care of stuff around the house. She takes care of her portion. And it just feels like we're constantly on the outside taking care of each other, not directly.
Yeah, and that's how it's supposed to be, like a nice, good balance.
Yeah. And she doesn't give it up all the time. So
Yeah.
that's also a chase too, not like always giving it up.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And when because like, again, when you do get it, it's more satisfying when you actually get to that point.
Yes, totally. I know. I feel like I very much so just give them whatever they want in the relationship. Like there's just no chase. Now that I'm thinking about it, like
but
that's
your
chase.
power. That's your power source. That's your way. You know, men are physically more strong or more able and can do things. Women, they have their sexuality. That is their power equalizer.
Right. I become very dependent on the other person too. Like I'll be like, when are you coming home from work? Like, are we gonna hang out? Are we gonna go get food? Like it's always like, what are we gonna do? Not
so you're making somebody your passion.
Yes. No, exactly. That's exactly it.
So we've discovered something today.
Yes.
We have discovered.
We had an epiphany.
Yes. Oh, that's a big
word
word.
of the day.
She had a big word today.
Yes. Yes, I sure did.
So my advice to women and men. So women out there looking for a guy. The top 3 things you want to look for. You ready for this?
Ready.
They have to have good teeth. Because that really kind of highlights their hygiene. If they take care of their teeth, they probably pretty much take care of everything else. If they have good teeth, they're clean and they're straight. They probably groom. They probably wear deodorant, and they probably take care of the rest of the stuff. That's one hint. So number 2 is how clean their house is. So if you walk into somebody's house and it's all organized, it's put together, then they're really mindful of
serial killer.
That could be it too. Sociopath. I don't know.
Same thing.
But if you're like, you check out a guy, he has a good conversation, you go to his house, not necessarily to sleep with him, but just to kind of see, observe the house. That really kind of tells you his mindset, where his mind is. If he's really organized, if he's got like family pictures up, like even if it's sister, like him and his sister having, at a park or something, or in him and his parents together, that kind of gives you a signal of his mindset, especially if he's got family pictures up, because women love that too.
Do we?
Women love like when a guy holds a baby that's not theirs, and oh my god, that could be mine.
Yikes.
Oh boy. But no, I mean the house in itself, if they are very mindful, very clean in their house, they're very organized, that is also kind of a reflection of their mindset.
Yeah.
Where they're at. If it stinks in there, if there's shit everywhere, if their laundry hasn't been done in 3 weeks, that's where their mind is at. They're not very conscientious, especially if they don't have a job.
Yeah, that's true. Then what are they doing all day?
What are you doing? You play video games all day?
Yeah.
So number 1 is teeth. That gives you a sense of hygiene if they take care of themselves. Cleanliness of the house is kind of their mindset or mental state. Their credit score. Their finances. You got to pay attention to their credit score. So if they have above a 640, they have above a 640 credit score. That's probably, if they have good teeth, their house is clean, and they have a 640 and above credit score,
he's the one.
He might just be the
10 out of 10.
But if he's got a beer belly and he's kind of like, bleh, Because again, think about it. Clean teeth, right? They're probably, taking care of themselves. They're probably keeping fit. Their mental state is, if the house is clean, then they're keeping organized. They're able to kind of pay the bills on time, and their credit score solidifies that.
That's true.
Credit
But
score is
how do you even bring that up? Hey, what's your credit score?
Hi, my name's Taylor. I see you have really nice teeth. Can I see your house? And do you have a copy of your Credit Karma?
Oh my God! Could you imagine?
Or you could be
Get this girl out of here, security.
You could bring it up in conversation, like, oh my God, I was looking for a house, and my agent said, I should hold off until I have a 680 credit score. What's your credit score?
No, absolutely not. They would literally be like, security, get this girl out. Who invited her?
but those are my tips. So for men to women, I think most of it is like, are they gonna spend all your money? Those are those things. Are they gonna treat you good? If like in my mind with Violet, she tends to all the things I don't worry about. Like, she worries about all the house stuff, and I do too, just not to the same extent she does.
Right. You guys each have like your own things that you.
Yeah, she'll do the laundry. I won't even ask. I told her, I don't want you doing the laundry. I can do my own damn laundry. I just want you to like enjoy our time.
Yeah.
But she's insistent on it because it makes her feel good. And I think that's her way of like tending.
Is that one of her love languages? Do you think, like, acts of service?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's good. That's a good love language to have.
So any tips from you, Miss? Before we head out, it's already the 30-minute hour.
Oh yeah, look at that. Well, any tips from me? Like, in what way? Like,
I don't know.
Relationships. Are you sure you want
any red flags?
tips?
Anything? Should we make up or break up?
Makeup. I hate to say it.
Yeah, we'll stick together.
Yeah.
You're okay.
You're okay. You're all right. You'll do.
I like the stories, and so if Taylor wants to continue to share stories, that'd be a perfect day.
Yes, I've got lots of stories.
There's a lot of them.
I've got lots of stories.
But we'll be wrapping up today's show today.
Yes.
I want to thank Miss Taylor Wood from Think Pretty Boutique.
Thank you, Mr. Robert.
If you want to head over to Think Pretty or shopthinkpretty.com, you can explore and look at the many outfits that Miss Wood has on her website.
There they are.
At very low cost. Is there any discounts or anything that you're offering today?
If you buy 2 products, you can use code ThinkPretty, or I think it's on my Instagram. Hang on.
If you buy 4 or more products, you just might get Taylor's phone number. That's not a guarantee, though.
If you if you buy 2 or more items, you get 15% off your order, and then there's free shipping on purchases over $50.
I want that free shipping. So
hell yeah!
I want to thank Miss Taylor Wood for joining us today. Rob Morales, RCO Network, coming at you live here every week on the Tuesday hour, 3, 4, something like that. Just tune in and leave comments and questions. We'll
Hopefully my brain is working next week. I was getting back into the groove of things. Okay.
We need more alcohol.
Yeah, more alcohol.
So until then, see you guys next week.